Right, I'm recording. Okay, so today is Tuesday, January 19th, 2016, and this is the Fierce Fit Pride and Wildflowers team call, and we are going to be talking about the importance of consistency and taking action in your businesses this evening. So to get started, I do need to share my screen because we have started making Google Slides for our team calls. So let's see. Just give me a thumbs up when you can see my screen. Can everybody see my screen? Yes? Kelly, we good?
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. Perfect. All righty. So, to get started tonight, I thought I would start you guys off with a quote. So, motivation is what gets you going in this business and just in general in life, but discipline is what keeps you growing. And the hallmark of excellence, the test of greatness, is always going to be consistency. So, it doesn't matter how talented you are, it doesn't matter how many opportunities you're given or how many opportunities you receive. It doesn't matter how excited you are about living your dream life through Team Beachbody. It doesn't matter how badly you want to help others. What matters is the work that you put in on a daily basis, day in and day out, to make all of those things come to fruition. You can want it, and we've all heard Autumn say this. You can wish for it, but you got to work for it. So if you want to grow, consistency is always going to be key. So how do we define consistency in this business? We know that we need to do our daily vitals. So that means we need to be inviting people daily, both, to our challenge group opportunities, and on a consistent basis, we need to be talking about and inviting to the coaching opportunity as well, because that's the other beautiful part of this business. It's not just about helping people with their health and fitness goals. It's also about helping people with their financial goals too. We need to be doing our personal and professional development daily. We need to get our workouts in and drink our Shakeology daily and be proof that what we're sharing with other people really does work. We need to be consistent on social media every day. And more than that, we really need to be consistent with adding value to our posts and what we share on social media. So rather than simply sharing a picture of your Shakeology and saying, I added a banana and peanut butter to my shake today, talk more about what it's doing for you specifically, for your health, and all of the health benefits that it has to offer people. What makes this shake so special that you're taking the time to share it with people on Facebook? What sets it aside from the rest? The adding value piece is also going to come from doing your homework and being resourceful and learning about what it is you're sharing. And we talked a little bit about this on our last call. Being resourceful, if you don't have the answers, if you don't know what it is you're sharing, you need to go into your Coach Online office, look in the facts, look in your business and marketing tools, and do your homework. Growing your network every day, or at least on a consistent basis every week. Think about how many friends you're adding on Facebook and how you're going to reach more people. So are you joining interest groups? Are you looking at mutual friends? Are you asking for referrals, etc.? Are you recognizing your clients and their success in your challenge groups? People are going to always want to work harder, strive to go that extra mile, and commit further to themselves and their journey if they're being recognized for their hard work. Number 5, you need to be consistent on your own health and fitness journey. So, obviously, sometimes chocolate cake happens, but at the end of the day, really ask yourself, did I put in my all? For me today, this journey is just as much about you as it is about helping other people. So never lose sight of that. Always be consistent with yourself. Developing, growing, and always striving to reach your goals, surpass your goals, and create new goals for yourselves. So never just get comfortable with where you're at. Always continue to reach and grow and strive for more. That's how you're going to grow in this business. So if you want to become more disciplined and consistent in your performance and you have to be more disciplined and consistent in your growth. So how can you do that? By knowing the what, the how, and the why of personal development. So there are 4 questions that you need to ask yourself. The very first one is, do you know what you need to improve? And this is, of course, where personal development comes in. People are, they have motivation to succeed, and they show aptitude for their job, yet they don't always necessarily end up moving forward because they think that they can master their job and they don't need to master themselves, when in reality, we know that that's not the case. That's why personal development is one of the 3 vital behaviors. Your future is dependent on your personal growth, not just in this business, guys, but in life. So, improving yourself daily guarantees you a fulfilled life of endless possibilities, really. And when you expand yourself and you expand your horizons, your options and your potential just continue to grow. And this is where personal and professional development both come in. So ask yourself, what is it that I need right now? It's going to look different for everybody. Do you need more confidence when it comes to speaking about what we do as coaches? Or do you need more confidence when it comes to speaking about the products and the services that we share with other people? Do you need to do more work around self-confidence and work on your own fears, your self-doubts, and your insecurities? Do you need to be focusing more on your work habits and managing your priorities and your time more effectively? This, again, is where the personal and the professional development comes in. And as Team Beachbody coaches, we have so many resources available to us, both through our company and otherwise. So, Kelly, you are up, my friend.
Okay, so often we do the work, we do our personal development, we have decided what it is that we need to grow in this business, and we leave our book or our podcast or our team call and we're super inspired, but we don't know what to do with that inspiration. And that's where this comes into play. I'm going to go over 4 tips for you that are going to tell you how to get where you want to go with the growth that you've taken in, into how to make sure that you're growing, but not only using that growth to fuel your mind, but to actually propel you forward. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is your personality type. And actually, I want to back up real quick and just read you guys a quick quote. It's actually, just kidding. I'm going to keep going. The first thing that you need to focus on to get how you're going to go is your personality type. And Meg's going to go into this a little bit later because we're going to go into some action steps that you can take to make sure that you're really moving forward with your growth. And taking a personality test is one of them. But it's important that you think through how your personality is motivated and how you learn, because we're all different. So just because someone else is motivated by a certain thing doesn't mean that that thing works for you. For example, I did just one of the brief personality tests in the book I'm reading right now, which is The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And it's written by John C. Maxwell. It's an amazing book if you haven't read it yet. But it says, for my personality, and this nailed me. It says, the most fun-loving of all personality types, people who like to try to be the life of the party. Doesn't mean I am. But anyway, their weaknesses is lack of focus. It says, how can you motivate yourself to grow? By making a game of it. If that seems impossible, then give yourself a reward after an incremental success. And that just I actually do that. I have to force myself to not look at my notifications. And if I finish my whole power hour without looking at my notifications, I get something crazy. But usually I make myself do invitations if I by chance do check them before my time is up. So anyway, the point is just making sure that your personality type is, you're using it to your advantage, because we all have advantages and disadvantages in our personality types. The second thing is to start with the simple things and celebrate that. This business is built around Success Club for a reason, because Success Club is giving you something to celebrate each and every single month. And that is so exciting to be able to hit Success Club, to know you have helped 3 people, to know that you're moving your business forward, and to know that you've put in the time to celebrate each and every single month, and that all of those steps will ultimately help you reach your goals. So celebrating the moments as they come up, and not looking and just getting discouraged over looking at the big picture. And so often that is where we get caught. If we see the big picture, we think we're so far away, and we don't celebrate those little things along the way. The third one is to be patient and remember that all good things do come with time. So this isn't going to happen overnight. You have to keep reminding yourself that it is a business that takes hard work. You have to be patient. All things that are difficult before they become easy. And most people never realize how close they are to achieving significant things because they give up too soon. Every worthwhile investment in life takes dedication and time. So, and I wrote down the 2 are patience and persistence. It doesn't matter how, if we think we're moving in a slow pace, or we're moving backwards, or we've had a person cancel, or whatever, we had someone say no, as long as we're patient with the process and persistent and believe in ourselves, we're going to keep moving forward. And the fourth thing is to value the process. And I wrote in this quote too, you can visualize tomorrow using it as motivation to grow. But if you actually want to grow, your focus needs to be on the today, because that's all we have to control. We can control our present moment. And that's how we really have to learn to set our minds. Procrastination just can't be something that's in our minds. It can't be something that we're using as an excuse. We have to focus on these little behaviors every day and really learn to appreciate the behaviors. I wanted to read this quote to you. One of the best things you can do for yourself as a learner is to cultivate the ability to value and enjoy the process of growth. It may take a long time, so you might as well learn to enjoy the journey. People that learn to develop and grow and change the direction of their lives do have to be patient. Life goals are reached by setting annual goals. Annual goals are reached by reaching daily goals. Daily goals are reached by doing things that may be uncomfortable at first, but eventually become habits. Habits are powerful things. Habits turn into actions, and actions turn into attitudes, and attitudes turn into a lifestyle. So I just thought that was really cool to think about all of those little things that build up to be your lifestyle, which is ultimately what we're trying to affect by creating habits.
I love that quote. That was awesome. Kelly, I can hear myself. Do you mind just muting it so that I
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to the next one. All right, so the next question, do you know why you want to keep improving in your business? The why is what keeps you motivated long after that first rush of energy and enthusiasm wears off. It can carry you through when willpower just isn't enough. And I encourage you to think about it, or think of it as why power. I love the story of the salesman who looked out the window of the hotel restaurant at a blinding snowstorm. And he asked the waiter, do you think the roads will be clear enough in the morning to travel? And the waiter replied, it depends on if you're on salary or on commission. So let that sink in for a second. If your daily behaviors are connected to your values, dreams, and your purpose, you'll know why you're doing it. So your answers to the following questions that are here on the slide will let you know if your why is solid enough to motivate you to consistently grow. So, do you constantly procrastinate on important tasks? Do you require coaxing to do small chores? Do you perform duties just to get by? Do you constantly talk negatively about your work? Do your efforts of friends to encourage you irritate you instead of motivate you? Do you start small projects and then abandon them? Do you avoid self-improvement opportunities? if your answer is yes to many of these questions, you haven't really tapped into a strong enough why yet to keep you growing, to keep you moving along. If you have all the motivation you need, discipline really shouldn't be a problem. If you lack motivation, discipline is always going to be a problem. You have to give yourself more whys, yes, as in plural, and bigger whys so that you can keep wanting to put in that effort every single day that's required of you to keep on growing in this business and, again, in this life. The compound effect of your actions, whether they're many or few, will reveal themselves in this business 100% of the time. If you're not being consistent, your business won't grow. If it has nothing, it has nothing to do with the fact that there aren't people out there who need to be helped. I'm telling you right now, there are millions of people out there who need our help, who want our help, who wish, hope, and pray that we'll reach out to them next. I mean, obesity is the problem that it is in this country because there are so many people who need to be helped. And I know that there are people who want us to be the people who reach out to them next, because I've had these conversations with people before that I'm so glad you reached out to me. I've secretly been hoping that, you know, you would, because I've sort of been unsure if I should be the one to reach out to you conversations. It's flat out hard for people to admit that they need help, to go to somebody and say, I need to lose 20 pounds, or I'm really unwell and I'm scared for the future of my health and well-being. So if you're fearful in this business and you let that hinder your growth and stunt your confidence when it comes to connecting with others, you know what it is you need in regards to your personal development. You need to work on your fear, your self-confidence, and connecting to the mission of this company first and foremost. So, and the opposite is true. If you're doing your personal development, if you're staying focused and being consistent in your business activities, you will see the growth. You will see that success. It will happen. So, you know, if your business isn't moving forward, ask yourself, what do I need? And why do I want to keep improving? All right, Kelly. You're muted, by the way.
Thank you. And the fourth question that you need to ask yourself is, do you know when you need to improve? Because as Meg just mentioned, when she was talking about your why and how important that is, it is your motivation. It is that why that's going to get you started, but it's your discipline that's going to keep you going when times get hard. And knowing that you're having that why is what's going to fuel you forward, but building the habits is what's going to keep you going. So when do you need to improve the habit and create new habits? It's now, because that time is all we have. All we have is now. There's no tomorrow. There's growth, like I said, in valuing the process and appreciating the process as it comes. So it's also in learning to live in the now. Another quote I want to read to you guys is, Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments, and that bridge must be crossed every single day. Over time, crossing becomes a habit, and people do not decide their futures, they decide their habits, and their habits are what decide their future. So I know it's hard, guys. I'm not saying that I'm Superwoman and I have the perfect habits, but it's really important that we think about being able to focus on building those habits that are really going to sustain us. And it is something just like when we do our workouts and we tell people, okay, in the 21-day fix, it's 21 days to break a bad habit. It's no different with our own personal journey and our growth plan. So what I want you to think about now is a goal versus a growth-focused plan. And there are some examples in the slide here, but just the differences between what is goal-focused and what is growth-focused. And I think these are really important points. Focus is on a destination versus on the journey itself. A goal motivates you and others, and growth matures you and others. A goal is seasonal and a growth is lifelong. A goal challenges you and growth changes you. A goal stops when a goal is reached and growth keeps you growing beyond that goal. So I think, we talk about this all the time, but personal development really is the backbone of this business. And to be honest with you guys, when I started this business, it was most definitely the thing that I put on the back burner. And one day I was talking to a fellow coach and I was like, I don't know, like, it's just getting hard. And she was like, well, what do you do? Like, what do you do every day? And I was like, I do this, I do my invites, I do this. And she's like, well, what are you reading for personal development? And I was like, I'm not really doing it. So she was like, and it stuck with me. She was like, that is the number one thing you should always be doing, because how can you expect to grow a team, and how can you expect to grow your challengers and help all of these people if you're not growing yourself? You're going to stay stagnant. You're going to reach a plateau every time you've stopped growing. No one else is going to be able to grow above you even. So think about that. As the more you grow, the more the people that you're helping are going to grow as well. And ultimately, that's what this business is about. Sorry, you can hit the next slide, Meg. So being able to build those good habits now, here are some things that you can think about. What are you doing daily that needs to change? So just be honest with yourself. This isn't a time for us to be like, shame on you, you're not doing it, but being honest with yourself about what you're doing so that you can make that difference that you want to make. What is it that you're doing in relation to what needs to be done every single day? And Meg talked about in the beginning of this PowerPoint what those vital behaviors were, what you should be doing in our business specifically. This question really rings true. I mean, it really rings a chord with me, and that's what needs undoing. And since I've been here actually in Costa Rica with limited access to the internet, I've really realized how many things need undoing. It's amazing how much time we waste. Like, I feel like I'm very capable of keeping up with this business with the internet access that I've had. However, I recognize how much time I've spent wasted on scrolling Facebook, chatting with maybe your friends that you don't need to chat with, checking to see if anyone liked or commented on your post. Those things are time wasters, and they're bad habits. They're habits that are going to keep you from actually doing the good habits that you need to build to move forward. And they're going to leave you feeling frustrated. So focus on, think about what you need to undo to replace with a better habit. Are you doing the vital behaviors? Where are you wasting time? What do you need to unlearn that you're doing right now to move forward and make room for those good habits? So just some things to think about. Everyone's different. Obviously, I mean, even it could be just as simple as not watching TV and instead taking some time to do your personal development at night, if that's something like me, you're kind of avoiding or putting on the back burner.
Okay. Alrighty. So develop a daily growth system that is simple and plays into your strengths, which is, what Kelly pretty much just talked about. And identify your personality and what motivates your personality. And one way to do this is to do the gem test and figure out which gem you are, because let's be real, we're all gems here. So the emerald, motivated by facts and figures, they love to analyze, they think things through, they plan ahead, organize, and create systematic ways of doing things. And obviously you can read the other things. But so pearl, motivated by helping others, they enjoy being a part of something bigger than themselves, love small gatherings and entertaining, they have a calm demeanor and are often introverts. A ruby is motivated by a challenge or a goal, and they thrive off of pressure to achieve. They're in it to win it, and that's the attitude that they maintain. They're natural-born leaders and entrepreneurs, and they're willing to work above and beyond where most will. And a sapphire is motivated by fun and recognition. They love to dance, talk, sing, and have a good time everywhere they go. And they're oftentimes a little disorganized, a little messy, but their positivity and optimistic outlook on life is contagious. Honestly, I feel like I'm a mixed bag of these gems. So maybe this test isn't the best test for me. But I mean,
well, it goes into a lot more detail on if you take all of there's questions that you could take, and I have the link posted. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. Okay, great. So that's something you guys can look back on, in the recording. And obviously we will share the link to this specific Google Slides document as well. So it's difficult to remain engaged in anything if you have not found a way to value and appreciate the process. What I want you to do is I want you to make a list of everything that you like and love about this job and why you're willing to commit to your personal growth, because that needs to come first. And if it's short, work at it. Anything that you can find as motivation, to help you develop better habits in this business. Do you love that you can be at home with your kids if you're a parent? Do you love that you have the ability to make some extra income on the side as a part-time job? Do you love having some extra cash for groceries and other necessities each week? Do you love being able to, pave the path towards financial freedom so that you can take family vacations without the struggle? Like, what makes you tick? Obviously, and everybody should have their hands raised for this one. Do you love seeing other people succeed with their health and fitness and financial goals? So make this list and revisit it often, every single day if you have to. Light that fire under your booty as often as it's needed. Tape this list to the wall in your workspace so that you can be reminded of what you love about this business every single day. Because not every day is going to be an easy day, and sometimes you need to be reminded. And the more whys that you have for pursuing this business on a daily basis, the more likely you will be able to follow through and be successful in this business. So start compiling your whys. Think of, immediate benefits as well as the long-term ones. Consider, reasons related to your purpose and your vision and your dreams, and think about how it will help you relationally, vocationally, and spiritually in every way. And any reason, honestly, is a good reason, as long as it's your unique, original reason. The same idea that applied for your love list applies for your why list, or your whys, as in plural, yes, list as well. So make a list of your whys and tape it, on the wall in your workspace. Revisit it, revise it, add to it, make it pretty, and put it somewhere that you can see it every single day. If you're a creative person like me, I love doing stuff like this. Make developing your whys a creative process. Take some time, but not too much time, so as to take, time away from your more vital behaviors, to make a why board and add pictures to your board that symbolize your whys. Pictures of your kids, vacation spots, your dream home, the words debt-free in big, bold collage letters across your board. Whatever your why looks like, get creative with it. If that's what works best for you and puts you in your why, feeling your why and living your why. One last thing about your whys, make them as specific as you possibly can, so that when you look at your whys, they're powerful. There's nothing vague about them. I had a moment earlier today myself, after working on some of the content for this call, where I thought to myself, my why has changed so much in a little over a year since I've, been working in this business. And it has gone from being so broad, so general, so vague, to now being concrete. And this is only part of my why. I have several whys, but I want to be able to have the freedom to wake up with my family someday. Yes, the family that I don't have yet, but will have one day. If you guys know me well, or you follow me, or we have friendships, you guys know that kids are my life. Being a mom is one of my purposes in this life. And, I want to be able to wake up with my family every morning and have my work right there at home for me, to be able to raise my kids and see the things happen for the first time, rather than hearing it from a daycare teacher. I've been on the opposite side of that, where I've been the daycare teacher and I've seen the first steps, or I've heard the first words, and I've seen the first successful use of the potty. And I don't want someone else having those moments with my kids. I want to have them for myself. And I want to be able to travel with my family without financial struggle, obviously, and to be able to volunteer in my kids' classrooms whenever I want to, because I can create my own hours and still be there for the big moments going on in their lives. And that's so much more specific than simply stating, I want my family and I to live a life of financial freedom. Like, those things are so much more tangible. They're so much more concrete. And there are honestly no doubts about what those things mean in my mind when I hear them or I read them. So really just dig deep and get specific with your whys. I think that's really important too. And one last thing that I did want to say at the beginning of the call, and I totally forgot, talk about consistency. Wildflowers, your leader is in Costa Rica right now, and she's leading a team call. That is consistency. And that is why she is my better half in this business, because she lights my fire and she reminds me of what's important in this business. And it's consistency, and she's proof of that. So that's that.
Thanks, Meg.
You're welcome. All right. I'm just going to stop share on this. Okay.
I guess we only have less than a minute, but I just have one last thing I want to say, and it kind of just, Meg did a really great job of wrapping it up anyways, but I think I've had a lot of time, as you guys know, here alone to think about my whys, and a lot of it relates back to purpose. And so as you're thinking through your whys, think through what your purpose is in this life, and try to correlate those whys to that purpose. Why do you want this? What is your purpose? I think that's just really powerful too. So it doesn't have to be a physical thing. It can be a feeling, that you want to create. You want more joy. And that to me has been something I've really realized too. And I want others to have that joy. So anyway, thank you so much for getting on. I wish we had time for questions, but obviously we don't again.
I know. We'll get better at it. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much for making it on the call. We'll post the recording soon.
Good night.
Night.